man, it's me, Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, and all those terrible Jay and Silent Bob type pictures, man. You're listening to Drop the Mic, the only podcast that I listen to that I'm not a part of. Every podcast I listen to, I usually talk on it, but not fucking Drop the Mic. That's where I'm like, let me hear what the boys have to say. And now, we drop the mic.
Happy Black Friday. We love toys.
We still on for pancakes tonight.
Chris, you're on Reg for the night. We're short staffed.
Wait up!
I'm Emmett.
You ever work retail before? No.
There's no day more harmful to retail workers than this day. What do we love?
Toys!
Good job.
Places, everyone!
3, 2, go, baby. Go! Black Friday!
Thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Holy What the There is something wrong with the shoppers. Oh, we gotta do something.
We're 1 hour into Black Friday, and we're escorting customers away from the store.
No!
Was that the new guy?
Our shoppers are going crazy. Whatever you do, don't let them gather. They're building something.
At this point, we're just in their way. We're gonna have to fight.
I don't think this night can get any worse.
Does anybody else just think that's funny? I told you they never die.
We have to make a run for it.
Exactly.
Black Friday is over!
Chucky says we're all going to die.
Back up, homie!
Of the fire, we'll sit and admire the stockings all filled up at last. Decorations of all that glitters, silver and gold.
I love it here.
The police are here.
Thank God!
It's the time. The most magical time of the year.
Got your doorbusters right here, motherfucker.
Welcome back to our humble San Diego podcast. This is Drop the Mic, and we are your hosts, Wesley Swanson, James Warney, and Ryan Jimenez. This is episode 295, a Lovecraftian Friday, where we will be discussing the 2021 indie flick Black Friday. Before we jump into the review, here are some warm-up segments for everyone out there in podcast land.
And now for a special news report. Brought to you by Drop the Mic.
So, James, what's up?
All right. So let's start off with, it looks like that Indiana Jones, an Indiana Jones series is currently in development at Disney+. It's they haven't gone into details whether it's going to be a prequel or a spin-off. But what are your thoughts on that? Do you even want to see in Indiana Jones series on Disney+? I know Harrison Ford is I think he's pretty certain that this is going to be his last one. With the film coming out, I think in Indiana Jones 5, whatever it's called, I'm not sure, but I know that's supposed to be his last one.
I think it'd be cool for like prequel stuff to see, get someone to looks like him, to see what he was up to before the movies.
Right.
But yes, or maybe they're going to go with a character from the show. I mean, the new movie, and give them their spinoff there.
It's a 50-50. I think it's really going to... The deciding factor for me will be if this next movie is actually good or not.
Right.
Have they said if anyone's coming back to help with the show, like any of the original producers or writers or directors?
No, that they haven't really gone into detail on anything aside from just releasing that it's currently in development, which can really mean anything. It can really just mean that they kind of threw an idea out there and now they're like, okay, now let's figure it out. Mm-hmm. Or, it's unclear as to what stage of the process they're in. But yeah, moving on, it looks like Lionsgate is planning to develop a John Wick video game. myself hearing that news, I'm super excited, especially if it's going to be some type of like a really like open world video game, which I feel like that's the only way to do it. I don't know. I'm excited for that if it ever happens. But what do you think? Lionsgate getting into the video game world.
I think it'd be cool, like third person, like Red Dead style, where you get to like slow down time and shit and knock fools out with a gazillion types of guns and bullets.
Yeah.
Anything John Wick would be dope.
I just want it to be a real game with real effort put into it. I know there is actually like a small, I think it's like like maybe an iOS game, but there is a John Wick game out currently, but it's in like a kind of comic booky, almost Telltale style.
Yeah, I think there's a puzzler too.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would like a real like Max Payne-ish style John Wick game would be rad. It would be so rad if it's done correctly.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. Let's see here. Some more video game news. Netflix will be adapting a Gears of War live-action feature film, also with an animated series to follow along with that. And then with, I guess, with the potential for more stories if it is successful, they would continue on with with either more another animated series, a couple of seasons, or another sequel to the Gears of War film that they're working on right now.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's exciting because Gears of War is definitely one of my favorite Xbox franchises. And it's going to be dope to see who they get to play everyone. I know like Dave Bautista has always said that he's wanted to play Marcus Phoenix. So yeah, dude, that'd be rad. I'm looking forward to it. I love Gears.
Yeah, he fits the mold like perfectly, I think.
Yeah.
Like the first person you think of like as an actor who would be able to play any one of those characters, but him especially. I love the video games. I think I melted the game because I played it so much, but especially the first one.
Yeah, I want to say he's a DLC character for multiplayer for like the fourth one or something like that.
Oh, that's so cool. What else do we got here? So after the huge success of the Monster series for Netflix, the Dahmer series actually, looks like they got two more seasons greenlit for the Monster series, and the next two seasons are gonna focus on each individual another serial killer, I guess, in each individual series or season. I still have not seen the Dahmer series, but I know that Netflix has had a huge backlash with the series coming out. But I'm pretty sure you guys have both seen it. What are your thoughts on them continuing this?
Ryan refuses to watch it unless you change your mind.
No, I haven't seen it
yet. Okay.
I don't know, man. All that stuff is kind of played out unless they do something different that no one else has done. So someone who we haven't seen on like the big screen or television before. But yeah, a lot of that stuff has been played out. So they got to come up with something fresh.
Yeah, for me, it kind of feels like they're like reopening old wounds, just to make a profit off of it. But yeah, I guess if people are into it, I know Wes is very much into that series. I just haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet. But yeah, it looks like my last bit of news here. I don't know if we've talked about it last week, but Westworld is officially canceled by HBO. So the season 4 that just aired in August those were the final episodes.
I never got into it. Did you, Wes?
I did. I really liked it. It's definitely a complex show. I could see why they would cancel it. But it's still sad to see it go. I do think I read that the entire cast and crew are still going to get paid for season 5 regardless.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
It just sucks. Yeah, I was looking at the numbers. I guess they dropped off significantly after the first season, and every season after the first season, the numbers dwindled every season in terms of viewership. So, yeah, I guess that's more reason for Warner Brothers and HBO to kind of cut ties with it. It was a good series.
To me, Westworld is it's like David Lynch. It's very, very niche, and it's it's some of the most wild shit you'll ever see. Let alone being on HBO where they can do whatever the fuck they want. So I don't know, but you guys should check it out. If you haven't checked out any of the seasons before, at least watch the first season.
Have you guys watched the last season?
I haven't finished it yet.
I'd like to know if it kind of left off as a cliffhanger. I mean, that'd be kind of like a disservice to those fans who have been watching it. It kind of sucked, but it's good that they're paying them for that 5th season.
I could see them if it's not completely tied off. I could see them maybe trying to work out a movie to kind of close everything. But as of right now, the show is just canceled. There's no word on if they're gonna if they left it open ended or what. But like I said, I haven't watched the newest season. I think I've only watched 1 and 2. That's my last bit of news.
Ryan?
Yeah. Okay, so Snoop Dogg biopic is in the works from Wakanda Forever writer Joe Robert Cole and Dead Presidents director Alan Hughes. It's going to be the first film produced under Snoop's new banner, Death Row Pictures. So what do you guys think about that?
If it's anything I want it to be in that style of Straight Outta Compton. I really liked that movie, and even the depiction of Snoop by Lakeith Stanfield, I believe it was.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you. If they can capture that type of feeling that Straight Outta Compton had, I think it would be ideal. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any negative or positive thoughts on it. If I'll watch it, of course, but I'd like to see who they cast as him.
They gotta have, I mean, for those two guys to be involved, someone like Alan Hughes, who directed Dead Presidents and the writer of Wakanda Forever, which is about to be probably one of the biggest Marvel movies of all time. The Snoop probably has something cooked up pretty good for us. So Ian McShane has joined Ana de Armas in the John Wick spin-off Ballerina. McShane is obviously reprising his role as Winston, the manager of the Continental. So how do we feel about that? And
I'll tell you how I feel about that. Let's take it back to Road Trip. It's boner day. That's how I feel about that.
It's kind of crazy how those movies have just spun off all these things and TV shows and games, and the 4th trailer, or the 5th trailer, right?
Mm-hmm. And
it's today.
Plot twist, they're actually good, unlike your favorite franchise in the whole world, Ryan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I said it.
I don't know if that's my favorite franchise.
I know, I'm being facetious.
I do be going to the movies to watch all of them.
Oh, man. But yes, Ballerina, that's awesome.
I don't know if you guys saw, but the first images of Zac Efron in the Iron Claw as Kevin Von Erich of the famous Von Erich wrestling family has surfaced, and he looks fucking insanely yoked out of his goddamn mind. The movie's coming out in 2023 from A24, and it'll be written and directed by Sean Durkin. The cast also includes Jeremy Allen White and Harris Dickinson and Lily James. If you guys don't know, the movie is based about the family dynasty of wrestlers, the Von Erichs. There's an episode of Dark Side of the Ring. I think it's like episode 3, season 1. Check that out. It's fucking insane. They're all in the WWE Hall of Fame. But yeah, fucking wild shit. Have you guys seen those pictures?
No, not yet.
Yeah, he looks super yoked ab implants. That's all I'm saying. No, I'm just kidding. I know. I'm very certain that he works hard for his physique. But man, yeah, I have no clue on what that movie's about. And just from your description, I'll do a little more digging and try to learn about that family, 'cause I've never heard of them.
Yeah, no, it's wild. I think Dark Side of the Ring is on Tubi, like all those episodes. I don't know if they're on. I don't think they're on Peacock with all the WWE stuff. But yeah, the family, the story of that family is wild. There was, I think, 6 brothers and the dad. But yeah, let's see. For my last piece of news. The title for the 5th installment in Legendary's Monsterverse has apparently been revealed. The movie recently wrapped up filming, and with cast and crew have shared pictures of hats and shirts they were given to celebrate the end of production. Directed by the GOAT Adam Wingard, it'll simply just be called Godzilla and Kong, not Godzilla vs. Kong. And it's so the title is basically hinting at the 2 monsters teaming up and fucking shit up. I'm excited. I don't know how excited you guys are, but I'm fucking stoked.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Do we know if this is the final film in this franchise?
I mean, I'm pretty sure if it makes a shit ton of money, it won't be. And then add that TV show starring Wyatt Russell and Kurt Russell for Apple Plus.
Oh, that's right.
Is coming out too. So they're probably doing a lot more than just this one movie.
Okay. Yeah, I'm super stoked for it. I enjoyed all of them so far. Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do. I think the last one was fun. It's entertaining. You know what you're going to get when you watch these. But yeah, I can't wait.
And that's all I got for my news. Wes, what do you have?
I have a couple things that James didn't steal. Just kidding. All right, let's start off with Scream 6. It has been bumped up from its original release date of March 31st to March 10th, 2023. Along with that, Jenny Ortega has also announced that Scream 6 will have more action and gore, most likely to make up for the absence of course, Neve Campbell. Thoughts on this, guys?
The absence of Neve Campbell, yeah, right. They're trying to pull one over on us.
I'm telling you, man, she's in it. She's in it.
She's in it.
Yeah, dude, that's cool that it got bumped up a little bit, so we don't have to wait a little. We can, buy an extra couple pair of underwear and diapers to wear to the movie earlier than expected. But yeah, dude, I'm stoked for that. And yeah, she has to be coming back. They're playing this off. They're doing the most to keep it a secret.
Yeah, in that interview, Jenna literally says, they ask her, what are your thoughts on Sid not coming back? And she just straight up disregards it and is like, I can't really speak on her character because I'm not her character or something. And I'm just like, okay,
oh, wow.
Okay, girl. All right. Yeah. She maybe not a lot, but there's something.
Yeah.
They're hiding something. All right.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Moving on to some Halloween Ends news. It has officially cleared $100 million at the worldwide box office. And now this holiday season, the film comes to digital November 15th, along with a physical collector's edition with extended and deleted scenes. This will release December 27th, 2022. So we're getting an extended cut just like they did with Kills. And maybe, just like Kills, it'll make it a better movie.
Yeah, everyone who hated that movie, you guys still went to go see it.
100 million.
100 million?
Yeah.
Is crazy for a horror movie like that.
And I'm sure, what did they probably spend? 30?
Yeah.
So you could say it was a bomb all you want, but it was not.
Yeah, that's a huge... That's worldwide?
Worldwide, yeah.
That's a big success.
It was the least grossing out of the trilogy, but it still did great.
Yeah.
Look at Terrifiers like crying over 10 million. And Michael pulled in 100 million in his last battle. Okay.
It's so crazy that fucking movie was only made for $250,000 and it's made $10 million.
Yeah.
Just on word of mouth and fucking Twitter and social media. That's wild.
It is. And they got vomit bags now.
I know. Fuck.
Wish I could get my hands on one. Into personal news. I recently did an interview with 7 Octobers. You can check that out on her channel. It's Nightmare on Cedric Avenue. Available on YouTube, I believe. So check that out if you feel like getting to know me a little bit better. It's pretty fun.
I watched the whole thing on Spotify.
Thank you.
Just sat there in the bed tucked in.
So is it audio too?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know. She don't tell me nothing. Just kidding. Shout out to 7.
I didn't know you could do that, and like I was pulling up, I was like listening to some on my way home, and then I was pulling up and I pulled out my phone to stop it, and it was like a video. I was like, holy shit.
Oh.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
Yeah, I don't know. The Witcher, I just started rewatching that again just to get ready for the new season whenever it does come out. Even though Henry Cavill, like I said, is leaving. Definitely love that show. I love his character in it, and everyone in there is top-notch acting. The special effects are amazing in that. And yeah, I have no idea. I have never played the games. I've never read the books, but I think it's an awesome show. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it if you're into that type of fantasy world with like magic and stuff like that.
Ryan?
So I haven't been watching a lot either, just Office episode reruns. But I did start watching a lot of the older WWE pay-per-views and like SmackDowns and Raws that I had missed. If you have Peacock, they have like legit every single WrestleMania, all the big pay-per-views. Today I watched WrestleMania 31, which is like in regard to like newer WrestleManias within the last 10 years, it's regarded as one of the best. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but that's where fucking Randy Orton RKO'd Seth Rollins out of the fucking sky. Like the best RKO you'll ever see. And then that's where Seth Rollins cashed in at the end against Brock and Roman to get the titles.
Side note, what about the RKO when Rey Mysterio dives out of the ring and gets RKO'd midair, dude?
Dude, that one's good. But this one, dude, like Seth's foot is on his fucking head because he's gonna do this the curb stomp, and it's like he's like at least 10 feet in the fucking air. But yeah, if you love WWE or getting into wrestling, which I think you should be because Triple H has been doing fucking amazing things for the matches and the pay-per-views. Peacock, check it out. All that shit is awesome. And the nostalgia of watching all those Monday Night Raws from like the early 2000s is fucking awesome. Also, that WrestleMania Triple H fights Sting, and NWO and DX all come out. A whole bunch of old dudes beating each other up.
All right. Short and sweet this week. I rewatched, because of Halloween Ends, Hard Target, which is referenced in the movie super randomly. It's an old Van Damme film. John Woo's American debut.
Oh, shit.
And it stars Jean-Claude Van Damme, of course, Lance Henriksen as a really good villain, and Arnold Vosloo of the Mummy fame.
Nice.
As his right-hand man.
That's right.
Such a good film. Very underrated. I think they just came out with a new a 4K and Blu-ray pack that has the cut that the MPAA didn't want you to see, which is pretty rad. I'm not gonna lie, I really want to get it. But I checked it out the other night, and it's still pretty good.
What's it on? Is it on anything?
No.
Unfortunately
not. You got to rent it. If you're gonna rent it, digitally, you got to rent it. But you can pick up that 4K. I'm telling you. I picked up The Sound of Metal with Riz Ahmed on
Criterion?
Yes, Criterion Collection. Thank you.
Did you go to Barnes & Noble for the 50% off?
No,
Damn it, Wes.
No, how do I say this? I wanted to shop local, so I went to the Digital Gym to check out Pearl. Took my girlfriend on a date to see Pearl. That's how messed up we are in the head. All right. And then I was like, hey, The Sound of Metal's still here, so I'm going to buy it.
I respect that.
That's cool.
Riz Ahmed is amazing. The Sound of Metal changed my life, how I view everything. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, I think it's a Prime original. You should be able to stream it on there, so check it out.
The artwork on that fucking Criterion Collection is fucking beautiful.
Amazing. Check it out. The Sound of Metal.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
We're talking about Black Friday. It's actually unrated. It's from 2021. It's a horror comedy, and it runs at 1 hour and 24 minutes, and it's got a 65 on Rotten. Written by Andy Greskovec. Sorry if I butchered that. Directed by Casey Tebow, starring Bruce Campbell, Michael Ja White, Devin Sawa, Ivana Baquero, Ryan Lee, and Stephen Peck. Black Friday spins the story of a group of toy store employees who find themselves up against an alien parasite who has taken refuge within their building. The day after Thanksgiving, aka Black Friday, as the parasite starts to slowly infect shoppers and employees alike, the remaining crew must band together in order to survive the evening. Production started for the film from November through December of 2020, while the pandemic was still going pretty strong with its restrictions. Although the I Heart Toys building is an actual former Toy Story, Babies R Us to be exact, the shelves and inventory seemed kind of bare in the film, keeping in mind that this is supposed to be one of the busiest nights in retail. With that being said, director Casey Tebow, who comes from a background of directing live music segments and programs, does what he can with a limited budget, and it's very clear that most of this budget went into mostly practical effects, done by Robert Kurtzman, who you may know did the special effects and gore for Evil Dead 2. It all comes full circle. The creature effects in the film are one of the clear highlights, although it's a shame we don't see more use of the monsters, as the script tends to rely more on the funny aspects rather than delivering on some great kill scenes and set pieces. The unlikely ensemble cast works well together, but the underuse of Bruce Campbell and Michael Ja White really hurts the overall fun of the movie. Devin Sawa and Ivana Baquero and Ryan Lee mesh well on screen and hugely help keep you invested in this movie. For a runtime of just 84 minutes, the characters manage to feel fleshed out and authentic for anyone who has once worked in any kind of retail. Ryan, I'm looking at you. Similar to George A. Romero's original Dawn of the Dead, Black Friday is using close quarters cosmic horror as an underlining commentary for consumerism and the lack of appreciation the world has for your everyday retail workers. And although we've seen this done before, the film certainly does a decent job of entertaining us with a throwback monster midnight movie. It's clear that Black Friday wasn't trying to win any awards, but it's cheeky, well shot, and features a score by Fall Out Boy's Patrick Stump. Wow. Check it out now with the Stars app. 2.5 doorbusters out of 5. Thank you.
Nice.
So, James, why'd you pick this film?
Yes.
And what'd you think of it?
To be honest, I picked it because it looked fun. It just looked like a fun movie. The cast, I watched the trailer before recommending it because I'd never even heard of this movie until maybe 2 weeks ago. I saw the trailer on the Stars app, and then I saw that it was going to be released just this last week, and I decided to. You gave me the option to pick a feature film for the podcast, and I decided to just go with that one since it being so close to Black Friday. For us here, and just from the trailer and then going into the movie, but just the trailer, I'm speaking for the trailer when I first picked it, I could relate with it just in the fact that it's working retail at Target, which me and you both have done, Wes, and Ryan still slaving along at that beautiful red and khaki store. I feel for them when he is witnessing his family enjoy their Thanksgiving, and he's like, "Oh, happy Thanksgiving." He's like, "Happy Black Friday." But yeah, the trailer alone was like, "Oh man, I can relate to this," knowing how that feels. But yeah, that's pretty much the reason why I picked it. And then just going into the movie, like I said right there, they do a really good job on showing you the frenzy that customers can get into when you drop something from $200 to $150 or to $112 or whatever it is. Everyone pretty much loses all respect for each other, and I think that this movie does a really good job on that.
All right, Ryan. So before we go any further, I know you're the only one of us that's still immersed in the retail world in some capacity. So having this be a fresh watch for you and living this like in your day-to-day life pretty much, how does it make you feel? Did you like the representation? And did you like the movie overall?
No, I agree with James that it's you kind of feel for the employees of the store, and especially when the dad's dropping his kids off to celebrate Thanksgiving and he has to go work. I've done that many times. I still do it. Up to about 4 years ago, I'd worked every single Thanksgiving, every single Christmas. So I definitely feel their pain. I like the movie. It was a good, 80 minutes of kind of B-movie-ish horror comedy. And yeah, I do believe they underutilized Michael J. White like profoundly, and I thought Bruce Campbell was his character was used okay. I can tell why they didn't use him as much because he is fucking Bruce Campbell. It's a movie that I suggest you watch because it has its moments of like holy shit, and just the way that the commentary on shoppers on that day is fucking hilarious, and the way the employees are throughout the beginning of the movie. And they have that one employee who's like Miss fucking Employee of the Month every goddamn year, and it's like, calm down, dog. It's not that serious. We're putting fucking toys up on a shelf. We're not splitting atoms or teaching kids. But yeah, no, I thought it was a good representation of that night, and fucking be fucking cool and good to your retail employees and everyone working their ass off this holiday season, getting all your stuff to you and checking you out and stocking the shelves. A lot of those people are young kids just trying to make it, and they're busting their ass working 10, 11, 12 hours just to get you your Nintendo Switch with Mario Party for $50 off. What about you, Wes?
This movie it gets the job done. I felt like there was something slightly missing from it. I understand, of course, like you were saying, Ryan, why they strayed away from Bruce Campbell being like this kind of anti-hero as we know him, because he obviously hung up his hat as Ash Williams, and so he did this against type on purpose to fuck with everyone, and I can appreciate that, and he does a good job for being like the slimy manager type, You buy it, and he's kind of funny. I missed he wasn't quite as quippy as I would have liked him to be for what I know he's capable of. And then, of course, Michael J. White, who it's his birthday today, which we didn't plan. So happy birthday. On the off chance if you're listening to this. It's pretty rad. But yes, holy shit. So I'm not even sure what his actual, if he's just a regular employee or like maintenance or something, but he just looks way too badass to be working in there compared to everybody else, right? And then he does take out some monsters or whatever you want to say. I don't think that they're zombies. A lot of people think that they're zombies. I don't kind of get that vibe really from this, but he takes out a couple and then he is killed. And not in a very kind of anticlimactic way off screen, and it just doesn't feel earned. And you have this fucking black belt martial artist dude, and you throw his character away like that. Were they trying to be funny and hitting on that trope of, oh, you know, the black guy always dies first or whatever? I get it, but really, guys, you really did that. I think they hurt the movie with throwing away that character. It's just my opinion. But come on, man. He could have done some really cool stuff. And I feel like the film, after that point, kind of takes a bit of a dive. But with that being said, Devon Sawa, who we know from Idle Hands, Final Destination, most recently the Chucky series.
Wasn't he Casper?
Yes. He is Casper.
Dreamy in that one.
Yes, Casper, and then of course SLC Punk.
Yeah.
But he's really good in this because I feel like he tapped into what Anton would be up to from Idle Hands now. Okay. And it's he's very, very charming in this. And like you guys said, you kind of feel for him. What I found interesting in this is that it seems like there's like some underpinnings of some kind of like relationship between him and Marnie.
Yeah, Marnie.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she's kind of doesn't want to make it make it like really official, because I think in the story she's like 16 years younger than him.
Yeah, I think at one point she says, "You can be my dad," right?
Yeah. Yeah, because he's like mid-40s, and I know in real life she's because Ivana Baquerio is from Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Ophelia, right?
Yeah.
And she's awesome, but she's only 28 in real life.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Who else?
I feel like he's kind of the everyday guy.
Yes.
Like you know, you can relate to him the most, the more relatable character in the movie.
I agree with you, Wes, that Devin and Ryan and Ivana, they kind of do what they can to hold the movie together after Michael Jai White dies, and they do a decent job with what they have. But yeah, no, I really like Devon Sawa's character. It's nice seeing him in roles because we usually don't get to see him do things anymore like that. I wish he would do things, or people would do things with him in mind, because I think he still has it. Yeah,
I love the references. Kind of, at least I felt like references to the Evil Dead franchise, especially with Bruce Campbell and some of his scenes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very cool. I like paying homage to that. So that was really fun. I was watching this with Jordan, and he plays Fortnite like every other 9-year-old in the world, and they just came out with a Ash Williams skin to play with, and he plays with that skin, and I told him, you know, that skin you play with, that's that old guy right there, that's him. But that was like 40 years ago. So
what did he say? Did he have any reaction?
He's like, that's him? I'm like, yeah. And then he was watching the part where he's stomping on the little flap to keep the alien people or whatever they are from coming in. You see the hands coming out through the top, and he's like, oh yeah, that does look like him. Because it's funny, one of the emotes for the character in Fortnite is Ash stomping on a little door to keep zombies out, or like the deadites out on the ground. So it was like an exact copy of what he remembers from Fortnite. It kind of blew his mind. He's like, that old guy is him.
I feel like that's like an indicator of how old we're getting, is that these characters are showing up as DLC in these games that these young kids are playing.
Right.
And they have no idea who it is.
Was it like that was it like that meme coming to life? Like, it's the guy from Fortnite.
But yeah, I'd agree with you too. I feel, Wes, when you said there was something after the movie, and I watched it, I'm like, man, it was a pretty good movie. And then I felt weird after. And when you said, you know, you just feel like there's something missing. It comes together good, but there's just a piece that to make it a really solid film. I feel that towards I'd probably say like the last 25 minutes of the movie, you're kind of wanting more from the characters, even though they do a great job of holding everything together after Archie dies and Bruce Campbell towards the end kind of goes out in a weird way. I thought that was kind of odd, the way that he kind of he sacrificed himself, but
the way that
I don't think they could afford him anymore after that.
What? Well, he produced the film as well. He's an executive producer, so he most likely backed it and liked it for whatever reason.
Okay,
but I think that he sacrificed himself because they do this kind of running joke throughout the film where he's like, fuck it, I'll go down with the building, you know, like any good manager would, and then he bitches out.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I think that he thinks that they're all going to die, so then he kind of sacrifices himself in some weird ass way to where he thinks he's going to make a difference, and that's how I took it. But it does feel like a little awkward, like he's just out of nowhere. He just loses his shit. Like he's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm going out on my terms, type of deal. Like,
I think that was just me. That's what I took from it. I was like, oh, that was kind of like out of nowhere. It didn't, like you said with Archie's character or Michael J. White. It's kind of like it wasn't earned. And I agree with you. There was the hints throughout the film when everything started to go to shit. When he's like, you know, I should stay behind. I'm the manager, and like you said, everything like that. But the captain should go down with the ship and whatnot. But it just felt really abrupt and sudden when that scene happened. I thought there was going to be something else.
Yeah, and I didn't think he was going to really be dead. Like he would come back. And I really thought Michael J. White was going to come back.
I thought he was going to come back too. That's why I asked if his death was off screen.
I was waiting for him.
And then he just doesn't come back. And man, what does Hollywood have against Michael J. White? Because this guy always dies. Think about it. Dark Knight.
Yeah.
He's murdered by the Joker very ruthlessly. Spawn. He technically gets sent to hell within the first 20 minutes. And now this one.
For being such a, I don't know if, I mean, he's so recognizable. You see him everywhere, I feel like, in most movies. And I mean, and this is not a jab at his acting or anything, but I see him on like almost, I'd probably say like 25% of the movies that are on Redbox. And that's not a jab at him at all. He's getting work where he can get it. And I feel like he is, like you said, he is kind of not getting his dues in Hollywood like he should be. But yeah, I think that was kind of an unwarranted kill on their end within the first, I don't know, it was in the first half an hour of the film, I think.
I feel like he's one of those actors that you feel like he could be something bigger, like he can be like an A-list, like huge blockbuster movie star, especially with his background in martial arts, and he's just always in the big movies that he's in, just like this side character.
Have you guys? Well, I think James was on that show, but Black Dynamite is really good.
Yeah. No, that's really good.
Yeah, but I think that he just came into the industry at the wrong time. I feel like if he came out when Steven Seagal and like Stallone and everyone was big, he would have had a better run when that was a more trending thing to have like Chuck Norris and all these guys, because he's a good looking dude. He's super athletic, talented in the choreography, and then he's not a bad actor, or he's decent at best. So I think it's just a timeline thing where he just came in at a weird time. Because when did he started with Spawn, right?
Yeah, Spawn.
Which is, I think we've talked about this on the show, but not a good movie, but great special effects. And he's pretty good.
When did that come out?
97.
Okay, so 97, I was like, what, 8, 9? Mm-hmm. I mean, then it was like the fucking greatest movie of all time, seeing it.
Yeah, well, because I'm assuming you were obsessed with Spawn too, the comics, right? Of course, but not something that's aged well. But
no, it hasn't.
It has its moments, I guess.
There's a scene. Who's the guy who's the germaphobe? Is that Chris?
Yes.
There's the scene where they tell him to go mop up that mess. I have this story when I was like first starting out. Like this is like, I was a bagger, courtesy clerk. Someone like went into the bathroom and just all over the bathroom, like shit everywhere. Like no joke. It was up the fucking wall.
Terrifier style?
Yes, dude. It was everywhere, even on the walls of the stall, on the floor.
Did they take their hands and like wipe it around?
It looks like that's what they did. So I was like 17 years old. The store manager calls me and he says, "Hey Ryan, there's a big mess in the men's bathroom. You have to clean it up." And I was like, "What is it?" He's like, "I don't know. You just got to go and clean it up." So I walk in there, and me being fucking the smartass I am, knowing my rights, walk out, go back to him, and he's the store manager. And I'm like, "Listen, dog, I know if it's bodily fluids, I'm under 18. You're a store manager. You have to do that, not me." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yes. I legit was like, this is like one of the only times I was ever like, if you want, I can ask my union rep to come down and they can explain to you those rights." And he was like, "Oh, well, we don't have to do that." So they got some other kid to do it who was stupid enough to do it. But him cleaning up that fucking mess, and he's walking up to it, and he says something like, what does he say? Like, "This is a bigger mess than I thought it was going to be." That was exactly my thought walking into that bathroom.
Also, and I get that it's satire, so we're supposed to take the leaps in logic, but those messes, like, how did people walk by that and they're like, "Yeah, that's okay"?
Dude, that shit happens all the time, though.
I suppose, yeah. No, I've seen some stuff, but in the movie, I'm saying
it
looks like
guts.
Intestines. Your insides are on the outside, right? And also shout out to Ryan Lee, who plays Chris, who is from Super 8.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just older. I still have never seen that movie.
What?
I have a. If you want the story, I'll tell
you.
I
met him in real life.
You did?
Yeah.
So
it was the year Super 8 came out, and I met him at Comic-Con.
The plot thickens.
He was just walking around like a normal person. And I'm like, "Hey, you're the kid from Super 8, huh?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, you want to take a picture?" And I was like, "Holy shit!"
He offered?
Yeah, he's like, "You want to take a picture?" And he was just walking around with like one of his friends.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then me and my brother took a picture with them. And I'm like, "Wow, you're super cool." And he's like, "Oh, thanks, man." He's like, have a good day. And then like just walked away. And all I was thinking the whole time was, man, that kid has some big ass teeth. Like, and I'm glad to see now that he's like an adult, he grew into them.
Yeah.
Like, it matches his body now, you know? I mean, he had some chompers for a little while. But, yeah. I enjoyed his character too. He was the germaphobe, like nerdy guy, and
his parents are really mean to him for some reason.
Yeah, his dad's like, "Can you fucking leave? I'm trying to enjoy my Thanksgiving."
He's like, "Why don't you try looking in that shithole you call a room?" Or what? It's just like for no reason. He's just not doing nothing. Oh man.
Yeah.
Also, they're having Thanksgiving when they could have just had it maybe a little earlier, so he could have taken it instead of just having it as he's fucking walking out the door. I don't know. I thought that kid's.
One of the things I did not like was the final act. I felt it was subpar for what we had gotten throughout the rest of the film.
Like they didn't know how to give us the banger conclusion, and then they're just like, here's this like wannabe Cthulhu giant
Right.
fucking Power Ranger mutant.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yes, Power Rangers. That's what the vibe was, man. It was like, where the fuck is Rita? Like, where fucking all we need is the little fucking androids. Like, oh no, the Rangers are in trouble.
Alpha, yeah.
We needed that guy just to be there. But at the end, I'm so glad that assistant manager or whatever he was got got what he got, because he was so annoying, and I have worked with people like that before. Yeah. Him and the lady in the beginning where she's like, your shirt's untucked, I could write you up for that.
Anita. Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I was having flashbacks from working at Target from like people that I worked with, but not to that level, but it's an exaggeration, of course, but yeah.
That assistant manager's, the way he was in his his personality was too spot on. The fool who wrote that had to have had a shitty assistant manager somewhere, like in retail.
Oh my God, yes.
Because
they had to.
He was the perfect fucking dick writer.
I feel like he was also hiding the fact that they weren't going to get their bonuses that he knew the entire time. I don't know, but I mean, the fact that he got that kind of reaction out of us, he did his job.
Yeah, no, he did.
Yeah.
And when he comes clean, it's a good twist at the end when he comes clean and he is all, I'm the one that bit Ken. It wasn't the fucking mutant, the monster thing. I did that so that Ken could like get away from us or whatever. And then everybody gets mad at him. But you don't, at least I didn't see that coming whatsoever.
No. I like his reasoning when he's like, he was worried about his kids. He was gonna. It's like, okay.
You saw, and he was calling you his girlfriend. I did y'all a favor. Oh man! And then he just gets fucking punted by the monster, and it was pretty awesome because he thinks he's kind of like coaching it and like talking it down, and for some reason he's all, I'm gonna talk to them as a manager because they're still at the end of the day shoppers, you know, like if this thing is fucking gonna be able to articulate what he's saying whatsoever. And then he just gets punted across the parking lot and they show it. What a dummy.
The big thing the problem I have with it is, I mean, it wouldn't have cost a lot of more money to throw in a couple more buckets of blood, a little bit more gore. I think that's what it was missing. If it was missing, if they kept the scenes the same way and just added a little bit more gore, because they're gory, but just added a little bit more blood or gore or a better kill, I think it would have been in a better place.
Yeah, because they keep it pretty simple with the kills. Like I said in my write-up, the practical effects are great, but they kind of just keep it with that tentacle thing. Mm-hmm. And then people get infected and that's it. And then, all of a sudden all the shoppers outside are already infected and we don't get to see any of that. And it's just almost like a cop-out. I'm not sure if it's for budgetary reasons or COVID, one of the two. But it just seems like like how the monsters looked are great, but they don't give them a lot to do. In a lot of ways. I agree with you. I think that more blood would have been cool, less of the giant monster at the end, because I feel like they really dwindle on that for a really long, like the whole end of the movie.
Unless that was their point, unless that was their intentions to be super cheesy.
Maybe.
At the end.
Maybe.
That's the only, unless they're just like, we don't know what the hell to do at the end. Let's just, whatever budget we have left, let's just throw it all in there and figure it out. But yeah. And then going back to what you said about the low inventory on the shelves.
Yes.
That's something I picked up right away. I'm like, this is, working where we worked, I'm like, this is Black Friday. Your shelves would be packed. You would have you would have things stacked on top of each other because it's going to get taken off. And as soon as I see them grabbing the board games, some of them aren't even stuck to the end of to the back of the shelf. It's literally, there's one there, and they grab it, and then that shelf is empty. Especially working where we've worked before, we know, especially on those days, there are going to be spots that are flexed or overstocked, especially in the toy area. And then when they're pulling the stuff off of the shelves for the board games, you see that as soon as they pull off the first box, a board game, there's nothing behind it. And to me, I was like, oh man, I'm pretty sure that would only affect people who've worked in retail and stuff like that, who would pick that up right away. But for me, that kind of bugged me. But then knowing where the store was, kind of gave me a little leeway as to accepting why the shelves were kind of half-assed, stocked, because they were going to be laying off a bunch of people after the holidays. So maybe their inventory was low and stuff like that because they weren't doing so good on their, with their numbers. But that's something I picked up, right away.
Anyone else think it's weird that they filmed this movie like in the middle of like ramping up COVID pandemic, and it's about like customers infecting their employees?
I guess I never really put it together in that aspect, but it just seemed like, because this film feels very like late 80s, early 90s style, when that was a trending thing to talk about, the horrors of consumerism and stuff like that, and everything had underpinnings like that. And so the way that I took it is that they're making this kind of throwback as a love letter to a time that was simpler, not so much the actual context of what was happening in the movie. But you bring up a great point. That's pretty that's pretty disturbing that they would shoot something like this.
It's also crazy that they continued to they didn't postpone it, because a lot of everything shut down. Production on everything, mostly everything shut down. So that's wild.
Mm-hmm. That's what I feel like there's, if you notice, even the shoppers, there's not very many. There would have been, if this was shot in real, like regular times, there would have been way more people breaking in and running around. Like it's, in that aspect, it hurts it because it kind of seems like, where are they? Like in this small ass town? Like, why is there only this amount of people? And then, of course, going back to what James said, like the shelves they do not look like how they should. And I don't know if it's just they didn't have the money for the false boxes or what.
That's all random shit too, like a whole bunch of fucking nutcrackers, and then like next to like a whole bunch of Xboxes and like big teddy bears that people would not be fighting over.
Yeah. And then it's like Yahtzee.
Right.
Or something.
There's trouble.
It feels like a very a not cool toy store.
Right.
Not the toy
like
store.
The Wish Toys R Us.
It's not Toys R Us. It's the I don't know, like your grandpa's toy store where they're like, here's a little trinket, Timmy. You know?
And the fact that they shot it in a old Toys R Us or Babies R Us, I thought that was cool. But rest in peace to Jeffrey.
I heard that they're making a comeback, right?
I know they're having like little mini Toys R Us's in. I want to say it's like it's a department store, but I can't remember. I know they're doing it. I feel like JCPenney or something, or like Macy's. I think Macy's is out of business now. I don't remember which one, but you know how Target has like they have like a mini Ulta inside their
yes, yeah
their stores now. So I know I want to say it's JCPenney or Macy's. I know one of them is no longer operating anymore. I can't remember which one, but I want to say they're putting the Toys R Us's inside like larger department stores. So they'll have like a section of Toys R Us. I think that's what they're doing. It's so crazy that the Toys R Us that used to be in Grossmont, near the Grossmont Center, I actually have a picture of Jordan in front of it. Like we're in the parking lot. I took a picture so that you can see the Toys R Us sign, the front of the store behind him. And I'm like, man, he's gonna be able to tell his kids that he went into a Toys R Us.
Like, what's a Toys R Us?
What's a Toys? You didn't buy? You mean you went to a store and bought toys?
But you can just get a drone to bring you the toy right now.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to be.
Have you seen Walmart's really doing that, though? They're, like, testing that out.
Really?
Yeah, drones. Like, they're in their main warehouse, and I think wherever it is, they're testing that out. Like, they put a package inside like, a decent-sized package, not like some, like, whole grocery cart. And, yeah, the drone drops it off to you.
I thought that was
drone looks
Prime.
Crazy.
I thought that Prime was.
I think Amazon's doing it too, but Walmart is also trying to do it.
Oh, is it an actual pilot flying it?
No,
or it's automated.
It's automated, and it's a big size drone. Like it has a good wingspan, probably like 4 or 5 feet. But yeah, we're all.
I think it's like the size of a Vespa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think when it goes to you, just like either put in a code or it knows GPS wise to open the latch for you to get whatever you ordered. But pretty soon we're all going to end up like the cats in Wall-E and just fucking everything be delivered to us.
Giant baby people.
Also, we haven't talked about, besides me bringing it up, who scored this film? Patrick Stump,
right.
The vocalist / guitarist from Fall Out Boy.
I don't know why that didn't come up when I was doing my research. I found out when you told us all right now.
Oh, so you were stunned.
I was stumped.
Sugar, we're going down. So, thoughts on this? That's random as hell, right?
Super random.
Yes.
What company is it that's putting this out on VHS?
Oh, it's Witter Entertainment and Broke Horror Fan.
And that was just released today. What are the odds?
Yeah. I've interacted with them on the interwebs, and they're pretty cool. But yeah, check them out. They release crazy stuff like this on VHS all the time.
Wait, so they released a VHS of this movie?
Yes.
Black Friday, yeah.
Today.
I tagged you in it.
God. Oh my god. That is cool.
You saw what? Yeah, check your Instagram, dude.
Hey, our timing can not be perfect. Cannot be any more perfect. That's cool.
It's a little scary, actually.
Also, Michael J. White, it's your birthday, so I'd like a follow back on Twitter or Instagram, please.
Yes, yeah. Follow us.
Do you think this is ever going to become something that people watch year round? Is it a worthy holiday film? Because we don't have, I mean, they're out there, but we don't have a bunch of horror movies that are based around holidays. It's kind of a rare occurrence, especially this one. You know, can you really even name one that's based around Black Friday? No, right?
No.
No.
I don't know if it's going to get to that.
level.
Yeah.
It's just so you agree with me. Do you both agree with me that it's missing something to take it to that next level?
Yes. And to be I'm super lenient with movies. I think I'm very easy to please. And like out of 5, I'd give it a 3, right?
Okay.
But it's like one of those movies is just kind of, I don't want to say unforgettable, but along that lines of...
You mean forgettable?
Forgettable. Yeah, it's just kind of... I don't think I'll ever watch it again unless it's like on Stars and I'm watching it. I'm sorry.
But you don't check out Stars, remember?
I don't check out Stars.
You don't open the Stars app.
Wes over here like makes love to that app if you didn't listen to the last episode.
If you don't know, now you know.
But yeah, it was a decent first watch, and then yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I despite I totally agree with you, Ryan. It's missing that something that puts it over the top, to make it that movie that it should be. But I think I would definitely watch this again. Now that I've seen it, I could see myself making this a Thanksgiving kind of like every year type of thing.
Okay.
It's an entertaining movie. It's not something, like you said, it's not breaking the mold, but it's definitely entertaining, at least for me. Enough for me to at least watch it maybe once a year at this time. I definitely recommend it to people if they haven't seen it, which I'm assuming a lot of people haven't, because I never heard of this movie, like I said, until I saw it pop up on my Stars app when I was just scrolling through it.
So Ryan said that he would give it a 3 out of 5. What is your score, James?
Okay, so we're doing it out of 5. Okay, I'd give it a for me 3.9.
Okay,
that's fair.
Not a 4, not a 5, but something like we said throughout this whole this episode, something is missing from it to bring it up to those standards.
James said it's all right, but it's still mid, no cap.
Oh, I like that.
What else? Ryan, did you think about what we're going to do what we're going to do for next week?
I've thought about it long and hard. And I think we're going to go back to the Bay Area 2011 and do, in my opinion, Brad Pitt's best film, Moneyball.
Oh.
I know baseball just ended, but we're about 140 days from opening day, where I can, for that first game, think the A's are going to go back to the World Series, and then by the All-Star break, just be disappointed. So, but yeah, Moneyball.
That's one I haven't seen yet, so I'm excited.
Yeah, but I've only seen it the one time. I enjoyed it though. Very good. Excited to watch this again.
Be nice to all your retail employees that you go in to visit. Be nice to all the people bringing you packages for the USPS and Amazon and FedEx, because those fools are working a lot of hours and they deserve to have pleasant interactions with the people that they're servicing.
That's right. Be kind to James, the mailman warning.
Yes. Hey, I just want to say one thing. Telling your mailman or mail woman, mail person, whatever it is, your mail carrier on your street or block or whatever apartment, you see them, just say, hey, I appreciate you and all that you do for us. It sounds super lame, but it does go a long way. I've had people say it to me, and it actually makes my day just to know that like they're aware of me. So it's really cool, especially when you're having like a hard day. Everyone thinks delivering the mail is super easy, but I thought that when I first started. But I'm here to tell you that it is. It's a pretty hard job. But once you get used to it, it's okay. But there are times when it is pretty crazy.
And that's not to say that Ryan doesn't have a hard job, because he does. So respect him. And if you don't, I'm going to come to that facility and start handing out free stunners. What?
You're going to get cut.
What? What?
No, yeah, just be nice to everybody out there, you guys. It's going to be a busy year because of the last couple years we've had. Last year was busy. I'm sure this year is going to be even busier because more people are out doing things. But yeah, just be kind to everyone that you meet during the holidays. You don't know what anyone's going through. You can be going to a superstore and check out with somebody who's not having a great day, and you think that they're giving you attitude or being an asshole, but in reality they just probably need hey, thanks a lot for doing what you're doing. I know personally, I was talking to Wes about this last week off air, but every time if I go somewhere on Thanksgiving, I always thank the person. Last year we went to the Bay Area. Before we got on the freeway, we went to Starbucks. I told the lady at the Starbucks window, hey, thank you for working today. And she was like, what? And I was like, thank you for working today. Like, it's a big thing. You're missing out on family time. I know how it is. Thank you for working. You go somewhere, just like James said, just thank the people because they're doing a lot to get you the stuff that you need.
Shout out to Ryan for making it down. Appreciate you endlessly. James for still tapping in. Always a pleasure. Thank you for picking this film. It was a wild card pick, and I enjoyed it as a fresh watch. Very fun to discuss. Everybody be safe out there. This is James Warney, Ryan Jimenez, Wesley Swanson signing off, saying good fight and good night.